use physical lifeline, your business's physical lifeline or life timeline to supersize and grow your business fast. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we're going to talk about how you can use your business lifeline or your business timeline. I call it a lifeline because it applies to the life of our business or to our individual life and to be a better you annual challenge. And we're looking at the physical aspects of our life personally, and we're looking at the timeline or the lifeline of our business in order to look for and see things that we might not otherwise see. I love this exercise because it allows me to see the interactions and the impact of different things, different events, different things that happen on our timeline that I wouldn't necessarily see otherwise. And then part of what I like to do, and we're on the last of our 9 life framework areas, is I look at and I graph on a much bigger poster board than this, each of the different areas and aspects and how the key events on the lifeline or the timeline impacted finances, impacted relationships, impacted spiritual, mental, physical, different types of growth, contribution, etc. So when I started my business, I was contributing a lot. So contribution was high. When I had a struggle in 2020 with my business and I wasn't contributing as much, then my contribution went down. The same is true of the physical area and aspects of our building. A lot of us, if not all of us, were impacted physically during the COVID pandemic. And that, if you were in business in 2020, should be on your timeline. For business, instead of it being the year I'm born, it's the year I started my business. And if it's newer, you've got more space for more events. If it's older, like I've been in business since actually 1973. I started my first business when I was 13. And is that should be on here. Yep. So what was the impact of that physically to me and physically to the business? Well, if it didn't exist before, now something physical and tangible exists that didn't exist before. So how do you rate that and how do you put that on your scale? It's up to you to determine what your scale looks like. To me, for my life, for example, this is 0. This is dead. This is flatline. So physically, if I am below the line, I'm not here anymore. Not on the planet. I did do that once. I don't recommend it. But it was probably one of the best things that happened to me now that I look back on it. Of course, it didn't feel like it at the time, but afterwards, it caused me to make massive changes in my life, in my lifestyle, in my thoughts, and my beliefs, and in the things that I studied and learned about. And so I think most of our events in our life are like that, and in our businesses are like that. We think it's the end of the world when something happens in our business or we lose a big customer. We lost and actually I let go of our biggest customer in my Italian food manufacturing business because they were not our ideal customer anymore. Originally they were when we started the business, but over time they sold and they merged with another grocery store chain, and it just got to be where their expectations were outrageous and ridiculous, and we were losing money on that account. And they represented about 80% of our sales, our gross sales at the time. And it took me about a year, literally, to make that decision, but I cut them loose, and within 3 months, we had replaced that and them, the volume of sales that we were doing with them, at a profit instead of at a loss. And so sometimes we look at things and I thought, okay, and I commiserated about it for a year because I was like, this is the worst possible thing that I can do, but it really wasn't. It turned out to be the best. It set us up for a massive growth spurt, and I'll always be happy about that. And, then I wished, well, why didn't I do it sooner? But I wasn't ready. And that's part of what this lifeline or this timeline exercise does for us. It helps us to see patterns that are working for us to grow and build and supersize our business, and patterns that might be holding us back. So if you've never done this before and you need help with this, please ask me, because it's such a powerful tool to have in your toolbox. I want you to have it. I want you to be comfortable using it. I want you to see at least a couple of ways that it can help you to grow and build and supersize your business. All right. Have an amazing day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another tool that I use to better understand what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it in my business, and you can use it to do the same. All right, have an awesome day.